Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever plugged in a scanner and pulled up a CO899 code, you know that sinking feeling. It says device voltage low, but which device and what does it really mean? Don't worry, today we're going to break down exactly what this code is, what causes it, and most importantly, how to fix it without just throwing parts at your car. So, what is a CO899 code? It's a C code, which means it's related to the chassis system's thinkabs, traction control, or stability control. Specifically, CO899 tells you that a control module has detected that the voltage supplied to it is below the minimum required level to operate correctly. This isn't just about your battery being a little weak. It's a specific alert from a module that it's starving for power. Most modules need somewhere between 9 and 16 volts to function properly. When the voltage drops below that threshold, say down to 8 or 9 volts, the module logs this code and often shuts down the system it controls to prevent damage or erratic behavior. This is why you will often see other warning lights on your dash along with the check engine light. You might get an ABS light, a traction control light, or a stability control warning message. Your car is essentially telling you, hey, I run this safety system because I do want to have enough power to do it reliably. So what are the most common culprits behind this low voltage situation? Let's start with the most obvious one, the battery. A weak or failing battery is the #1 cause. It might have enough juice to start the car, but under load, its voltage can drop significantly, triggering the code. This is especially true with older batteries or in cold weather. Next up is the charging system. Your alternator is responsible for keeping the battery charged and powering all the electronics while the engine is running. If the alternator is weak or has a failing voltage regulator, it won't produce enough voltage. You should typically see around 13.5 to 14.5 volts at the battery terminals when the engine is running. If you're seeing 12.5 volts or less, your alternator is likely the problem. But it's not always the big components. We also have to consider the wiring. A poor electrical connection is a huge and often overlooked cause of voltage drops. This could be a loose or a corroded battery terminal. Seriously, take a close look. That white or greenish crust, that's corrosion, and it's a fantastic insulator, which is the exact opposite of what you want. Clean those terminals and posts thoroughly with a wire brush. Beyond the battery, check the main ground connections. The ground strap from the battery to the chassis and the one from the engine to the chassis are critical. If these are corroded, loose, or broken, electricity can't complete its circuit properly, leading to all sorts of weird electrical gremlins, including a CO899 code. The module itself could also have a bad ground connection. Now, for the fun part. Diagnosis. First, grab a digital it's your best friend here. Start with a simple static battery test with the car off. A healthy, fully charged battery should read about 12.6 volts. Anything below 12.4 volts is a sign it needs charging, and below 12 volts, it's likely time for a replacement. Next, start the car and check the voltage at the battery terminals again. As we said, you should see between 13.5 and 14.5 volts. If it's still down in the 12-volt range, your alternator isn't doing its job. Rev the engine a bit. The voltage should remain stable or increase slightly. If it drops, that's another red flag for the alternator. If the battery and alternator check out, it's time to go hunting for a voltage drop. This is where you test the integrity of your wiring. Set your multimeter to DC volts. To test the positive side, place the red probe on the positive battery post and the black probe on the positive terminal of the module that set the code of... You know which one it is. You want to see a reading as close to 0 as possible. Ideally less than 0.2 volts. Anything higher indicates a problem in the wiring between the battery and the module. Do the same for the ground side. Place the red probe on the module S, ground wire or housing, and the black probe on the negative battery post. Again, you want to see a reading under 0.2 volts. A high reading here points to a bad ground connection somewhere. Trace that ground wire back and find where it's loose or fixing this code is all about correcting the cause you found. If the battery failed the test, replace it. If the alternator is weak, replace it. If you found corrosion on the battery terminals, clean them meticulously and apply a terminal protector spray. If you found a bad ground, remove it. Clean the connection point down to bare metal and reattach it securely. Sometimes, a corroded wire or terminal end needs to be cut out and replaced. Once you've made your repair, clear the codes with your scanner and take the car for a drive. Make sure the warning lights stay off and the code doesn't return. By following these logical steps, you can pinpoint the exact cause of that CO899 code and get your car's safety systems back online. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helps you tackle that annoying voltage code. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into car repair. Drive safe, and I'll see you in the next one.